Chio? Scifi called out, as she and Dante hurriedly exited out of the back door. Damn, she really gave us the slip, huh? Scifi murmured to the dog, hands in her pockets as she looked around. Dante gave a soft whine and sniffed the air. Yeah, she won't have left home. I would have gotten the notification, Scifi added. And hopping over the walls would muck around with Alora's wars and cause some problems. Actually, that's a point. Has Alora told Jack about that? Woof, Dante agreed. Yeah, you're right, that was probably day one stuff, Scifi chuckled, then looked around. Well, we've got to find her and make sure she's alright. Woof, Dante concurred. Alright, now where could my favourite blueberry be? Scifi asked loudly, hoping for a psychic response. Woof, Dante barked. What? You? Scifi playfully asked, bending down to give the dog some head pats. You're only like 30% blue, and that's only when you're doing your glowy trick. Woof, Dante barked a little quieter. Hey, second best is nothing to scoff at, the Scritter grinned. Besides, you're my favourite grey furball, so there is that. Woof, Dante barked louder with a doggy grin. Well, that doesn't change the fact that Chio has suddenly become quite good at hiding, Scifi sighed. Well, screw searching everywhere, I'm throwing in the towel. Help me find her? Woof, Dante barked, as he dashed to the access ladder and blinked up. Well, I suppose that spot should have been obvious. The Scritter chuckled to herself as she climbed up, careful not to spill any of the food as she did so. Leave me be, Scifi. The familiar sensation brushed over her mind. There you are, Scifi sighed, as she spotted Chio. She was sitting in a lotus position, staring out into the city, though she turned her head slightly away from Scifi when the Scritter looked at her. Go away. So I'm curious, Scifi idly mentioned, as she placed Chio's food down next to her. How the hell did you manage to get up here so quick without Dante or I seeing you? Have you actually been taking Nico's advice about stupidly excessive exercise? A slight noise came from Chio for just a moment, before she turned even further away from Scifi. Scifi smirked and, in a mock-shocked tone, continued. Chio? Have you been secretly working out and hiding it from the rest of us? She ended in a mock-shocked tone of voice as she sat down. Are you secretly ripped under that jumper? Another noise came from the Alithi, and Scifi continued pushing. I mean, careful not to flex your biceps too much, otherwise your clothing might explode. Or at least if you do, let me know so I can call Jack over, and he might stop being such a... Finally, Chio made a louder chortle before she finally looked towards Scifi with raised eyebrows, as she tried her hardest to stop herself from laughing. Got him, the Scritter grinned. Yep, Chio sighed, as she stopped deliberately turning away from her friend, simply choosing to stare out over the district wall. Hey, Scifi. You spoke with Svaartal, didn't you? Scifi asked, knowing full well what the answer was. I mean, properly, not just the day-to-day motions of school. Yes, Chio nodded. I can only imagine how that must have went, Scifi sighed. No, you can't. I know you still miss him, Scifi began carefully, and it's okay to grieve. I know, Chio sighed sadly. Want to talk about it? Scifi asked, completely serious. Not right now, Chio admitted, but I'll apologize to Alora once I've calmed down, and it's probably not a good topic for the rest of you after Nika mentioned Spartal sabotaging your game. I didn't want to ask too much about it considering... She trailed off. It's alright. We'll sleep it off and give you the rundown when we've all got clearer heads. Hope you'll do the same for us. Scifi shrugged, then got to her feet. Well, that's it from me. You don't want company, so I guess I better leave you be. It's okay, Scifi. Chio smiled genuinely, with a long exhale of breath. You can stay. Hey, no problem. We can just be quiet and stare out into the city until you feel better. Scifi grinned as she sat back down. You being quiet? The Alithi giggled. Hey, I can totally be quiet when I need to, the Scritter snorted. Admittedly, that usually only happens in the name of making a fortune, but still, it's been known to happen. Well, staring out at the city is out then, Chio chuckled. What else can we do? Well, Scifi shrugged. You could always tell me about that research you're doing. Something about an extinct regulator order having a base full of loot. It's the Order of the Dread Vigil, who are based towards the west of the city in the wilderness. However, I do not know what, if anything, remains. The Alithi corrected. It may be nothing. Or there may be treasure, Scifi grinned. Perhaps, Chio smiled back, looking out towards the city, letting the pain begin to fade away as she spoke of what she had learned. Svaartal scrunched up his face as he sat coiled up in meditation, squirming in place as he tried to make himself comfortable, trying in vain to concentrate his mind as he kept getting pulled back to the memories of earlier. Scales? Svaartal quickly composed himself. You lost the right to call me that a long time ago, he retorted steadily, slowly turning around, his expression now cold. Not by my choice, Chio replied, meeting his gaze. What do you want, Darcy? Svaartal asked, narrowing his eyes, ready to summon his weapons in an instant. Can we talk? Like we used to? What exactly is there to talk about? The Nira scowled, the old anger bubbling beneath the surface at the sheer audacity. It has been some time, Chio admitted, but the last time you and I spoke, I believe it was just before my sister and I joined House Malkar, and it was hardly a cordial conversation, Svaartal pointed out. Things have changed. They certainly have for me. Svaartal gave a smirk. I'm somebody now. You were before. No, I wasn't. Svaartal snarled at Chio, who held her ground. I was weak, hopeful and naive back then, and I'm anything but now. Sparty and I have a home and positions of prominence with a strong power in the city, and it's certainly far better than what we once hoped for. I'm sorry you weren't able to live with us back then. Chio looked at him earnestly. You know I am. Not as sorry as I was when my father found out about that plan, Svaartal sneered. I know. We can't take that back no matter how much I want to, Chio pleaded, her eyes beginning to water. I had hoped time would heal those old wounds and we could... Could what? Svaartal asked with a scoff. Could reconcile, Chio begged. You and Sparty can leave the drow and live with us. Like you both should have from the start. We can make things right. What? You would have me be an oath breaker? Svaartal chuckled darkly. No. I always knew Glenfarranax was full of shit. Our ever-magnanimous class representative sounded so eager to help those rendered homeless by the Killer Clown and the latest corporate war when she made that speech all those weeks ago, and yet when you once proposed Sparty and I live with you, she overruled you. I will forever be sorry for that, Chio asserted, the tears flowing freely now. We were younger then, inexperienced and in a female household, but... From what my sister told me, Svaartal sneered, Glenfarranax brought Frost to live with you without even consulting any of you. Must be nice. That's only because we're older and stronger now, where we couldn't stand on our own before, Chio pleaded. I will forever be sorry for what happened. Lessons learned in blood are never forgotten, Svaartal coldly retorted, as he slowly pulled down the length of his sleeve until he heard the expected ripple of emotion from the Ilithi, as Chio saw the trace of his many scars before he pulled it back. She closed her eyes tight for a moment. He'd never shown the scars before, and something deep within clutched at him painfully as he saw her raw reaction to them. I still miss you, Scales, Chio admitted softly. That person is dead, Svaartal growled, as he turned and walked away. And if I face you and your friends in combat again, he hissed, you will be too. I missed you too, Blue, he thought, as he opened his eyes, allowing a sad sigh to escape him. But there's no going back. He knew there was a meeting of the inner circle soon, and he knew better than to be late, so he got up and slithered to their living room door. He also knew he should speak to his sister. Svaarty, the Nira called out, as he saw his sister texting on her comlink on the sofa. Brother, she looked up. A lot of our peers are going to the Cathedral of Merriment. You should come with us. Even Dexter said she'd try and join. I'm aware, and I really shouldn't. He shook his head. And Dexter will be forbidden. House Malkar are too busy getting their affairs in order for the visit of their matron mother. They haven't asked you to stay. His sister got up and approached him. Svaartal, you really should come with us. Why not? You know damn well why not, he retorted coldly. If you want to spend so much time with Darcy and her friends, you should have stayed with them when they accepted you and rejected me. Let it go, his sister hissed. I've never regretted my decision to stay by your side. Well, I have! The words were out of his mouth before he could even think, and he saw the dazed look of hurt on her face. "Look, sister," he continued, trying to salvage what he could. "If you recall, I told you to go stay with them. I would have been fine on my own." Svaartal winced at the memory. "I don't like it here," she finally whispered. "And I had to stay with you. You said you wanted to keep me safe, but I just want the same for you. You've changed so much." "I've adapted," Svaartal snapped. "So should you. I still can't believe you still talk to Darcy and her friends after what happened." "I've forgiven them." "Then you're a fool. You know damn well House Malkar may give the order to take them down. It's why Cravel practically ordered I watch their game," Svaartal hissed. "If I'm able to defeat Frost, then I'm one step closer to defeating Father when we flush him out." "Don't do it!" Svaartal hissed, in a rare show of anger from his sister. "I will never forgive you if you do. This is a stupid feud. Jack's exactly like you. You'd get along with him and the others if you both put your fucking egos aside." Svaartal was sharply taken aback by that. He couldn't recall his sister ever swearing like that before. He sighed. "I need to meet with the inner circle and might not see you before tomorrow. Do you have the brooch Isadora gave you?" "You're changing the subject," Svaartal sighed, crossing her arms as she looked at him. "Correct," he deadpanned. "Now do you have it?" "I always have it on me," his sister hissed, pulling part of her robes taut to show the sharp, angular black and silver rune that served as House Malkar's sigil. "Good," he nodded, letting the tension drop with a deep breath. "As you know, we can track you with that, and showing it as an agent of House Malkar can grease the wheels, depending on where you show it." "I know this already," she grumbled. "If Father shows." Svaartal's gaze grew deadly serious, as Svaartal immediately focused on hearing those words. "You know how to activate it with a thought. It will serve as an emergency teleport to bring you back here, and transport a high-threat response team in your place immediately, who have been briefed about the contingency." "I doubt he will be able to show up unchallenged with so many people around me," she nodded, now looking nervous. "Never get complacent when it comes to him." Svaartal shook his head. "Once activated, we'll know what's happened, and we'll reinforce the high-threat response team as quickly as we can for an overwhelming show of force." "I know what to do," Svaartal sighed. "Good. You can have an escort for tomorrow morning as well to at least bring you to Clan Ashtel's tea room, and ensure you aren't harassed before you leave." "They probably won't be needed, but Commander Cocaine has supporters everywhere," Svaartal conceded. "Anyway, you should go." "I should," Svaartal agreed, checking the time and recognizing he was cutting it close. "If I don't see you before you leave tomorrow, stay safe, sister." "You too, brother," his sister sadly replied. "Just on time," Soren idly greeted the Nira as he rushed to take the seat next to him. "What can I say? I like to be fashionable," he smirked. "How was your observation?" Cravel asked from the opposite end of the table. "Entertaining," Svaartal chuckled. "You would have liked it." He liked to think he had made headways in trying to improve his working relationship with Cravel, but then again the House Wizard was still as much of an arsehole now as he was when they first met. He idly wondered if Cravel's lack of success on the city's dating apps were the symptom or the cause of this. Then decided he didn't care either way, as the meeting was quickly called to order. "If we cannot get a reliable location for Commander Cocaine, we can wipe out any that align themselves with him to force him to come to us if needed," Isadora ordered a few hours later. "His bounty is high, so I do not expect him to hide for long." "At least we have plenty of targets in the meantime," Dexter chuckled. "A drop of mech troopers in a lawless district will give a good demonstration not to cross us." "Indeed," Isadora agreed. "Now we must move on to other concerns we should address before Matron Mother Carastrix's arrival." "Hopefully Uncle Raja comes with her at least," Dexter chuckled. "Be quiet," Isadora hissed. "First on our agenda of outstanding issues, what should be done about the outsider? The loss of house troops is a black mark." "I await your command should you deem the action necessary," Svaartal spoke up calmly, knowing this was the moment he had been waiting for. "I can take them." "As can I," Soren added. "I have crossed blades with the outsider before and was rudely interrupted. I hunger for the chance to carve out his heart." "Give him to me," Cravel cackled. "His corpse will make an excellent puppet." "No," The simple command from Vaetrix immediately silenced the room, and he could see Isadora barely hold her composure at the blatant insubordination, despite Vaetrix being the elder sister. When he had asked Soren during one of their bouts, his friend was happy to explain the doctrine. Apparently, when House Malkar expanded to Naganai, Vaetrix was expected to lead, but was officially passed over due to her lack of piety in favor of her younger priestess sister. Svaartal knew better. He knew power and ambition when he saw it, and the elder Malkar had it in spades. She clearly had the wrong people scared and jealous. And she was definitely up to something. Your grudge against the outsider is petty and unbecoming of our house. The drow scowled wickedly. I have something far better in mind.